Hi, in this video we're going to explore how you can use the simple and accessible facilitation materials for Everything Disc on Catalyst to customize your sessions to suit your audience. In our design of the facilitation materials for Catalyst, we've used modules. Think of them like building blocks. Each self-contained block has an introduction with optional background material and a wrap-up section. You might be wondering how this modular design helps you to best address the needs and circumstances of your learners. While modularity means that you can customize the learning path, adjust the session length, tailor your session to the size of your group, incorporate grounding in DISC at any stage, and it allows greater possibilities to extend the learning. Combined, this gives you several ways that you can customize your sessions to meet the needs of the organization, the facilitator, and the learner. There are currently 3 groups of facilitation blocks: Fundamentals, Workplace, and Agile EQ. Each module is available for virtual or in-person delivery, and whichever method you choose, the objectives and desired outcomes are the same. Plus, both options intertwine with the Catalyst platform. Let's take a closer look. The Everything Disc Fundamentals modules provide a core grounding in DISC. We recommend that anyone new to DISC starts with the first Fundamentals module, Your DISC Style. This is where we introduce the DISC model and individuals learn more about their own DISC styles. Module 2 is focused on learners discovering more about one another. Using the Your Colleague page on the Catalyst platform, they can compare and explore strategies for working together. If you're using the Workplace profile, there are 3 standalone modules. Firstly, What Drives You, where learners explore more about their own workplace profile. Then we have You and Other Styles, a module all about gaining a better understanding of the people we work with. And finally, Build Better Relationships, where learners discover how to use DISC to bridge differences and look to improve relationships with colleagues. You can use 1, 2, or all of these modules in any order, all at once, or create a return and learn plan. Here's an example. You have been given the chance to host an online Workplace on Catalyst session with a group who are new to DISC. You could choose from any of the Fundamentals or Workplace modules. There is close to 5 hours of content there, but you only have 2 to 3 hours available. One option could be to focus on the relationships between the group's members. So you start with the Fundamentals, Module 1, to introduce the basics of DISC and the individual's style. From there, you can use the 3rd module, Building Better Relationships. Here, the individuals review tips for working with a colleague and discuss ways to improve relationships with people of all styles. A second option for the same scenario could be to dive a little deeper into the individual's DISC style and then help them to discover more about their colleagues. Again, you start with the Fundamentals Module 1, then you use the first Workplace module, What Drives You, to explore more about the learner's own workplace profile. For the rest of the session, you use the second Fundamentals module, so individuals gain insights into each other and how they work together using the Your Colleague page on the Catalyst platform. Either of these options gives you a great session, and you still have possibilities to return and offer future learning events. The group can continue to access and explore the Catalyst platform and apply DISC to their everyday work lives. Let's consider Everything DISC Agile EQ. Here we have 3 specific facilitation modules that can also be taught independently of each other or all together, and in both virtual and in-person settings. The first module for Agile EQ is where learners discover their unique emotional intelligence strengths. They can then explore the full range of Agile EQ mindsets and the importance of stretching beyond their comfort zones in Module 2. Finally, in Module 3, Develop Your EQ, learners take steps to develop their emotional intelligence through creating action plans. Let's look at another example. You are going to deliver an Agile EQ workshop to a group who have completed a DISC workshop within the last 6 months. You've been asked to keep the session under 3 hours. As the group have recently been through the Fundamentals modules, you decide to go straight to Agile EQ. Starting with your EQ strengths to help learners discover their unique emotional intelligence strengths and the core needs that drive them. For the remainder of the session, you use Module 2, Beyond Your Comfort Zone. Here you use a combination of personalized insights, video, and discussion so learners can consider new ways of responding to complex social and emotional situations. Altogether, this would take close to 2.5 hours, giving a great package to the organisation with an option for return and learn using that third module. Here's one last example. You've been asked to deliver a session on both workplace and Agile EQ to a group who haven't experienced DISC before. With 8 modules to choose from, there are numerous possibilities. Here is one option. You start with the Fundamentals Module 1, where you introduce DISC, and you then move on to the first Workplace module. This is just over 2 hours, so I would suggest scheduling this portion before lunch. Then take a break and continue after lunch with the first Agile EQ module, finishing up with the second Fundamentals module where people learn more about their colleagues. This second portion is approximately an hour, so in total you're looking at 4 hours including a lunch break. As you've heard, learners can of course continue their learning on the Catalyst platform, and you still have other modules you could offer at a later date. Perhaps a deeper dive into EQ comfort zones and developing our EQ, or you could offer a session with more focus on building better relationships in the workplace. As you can see, whether you're running an in-person or a virtual learning event with Catalyst, the simple and accessible modules mean that you can customize the learning path, adjust the length of the session, tailor it to the size of your group, and give grounding in DISC, and extend the learning beyond your event. All in all, allowing you to meet those real-world demands and constraints that organizations have. Thank you for watching. For more information on the content and timing of the modules, please refer to your Everything DISC on Catalyst Facilitation Kit or reach out to your Everything DISC authorized partner.